How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. So, got some stuff back from CGC. I didn't do one last week. I was really busy, obviously, with the auction ending, trying to get all those books out to you people that bought them. So, I'm back on it. I remember reading someone's comment. They were like, oh, this is my favorite video every week to watch. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So, I'm happy. So, got some stuff. Also, I got one that's going in the vault. Yes. Me and my brother have been talking recently. And ones that are rare or we might not get again or high enough grade, we're going to stick them away. I wish we would have had this philosophy back in the day when we had like the single highest grade Showcase 22. We had a Batman 1 and a decent grade too. Was it 3.5, 4.5, something like that? Also had a couple Captain America Comics #1s back in the day. Yeah, lots of good stuff. So, well, now if we come across something that is rare or maybe hard to get, or we probably won't get another one, we're just going to hold it back. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll show you that book in a moment. So let's see what we got up. First we got up is Daredevil #1 in a 4.5. I thought this would come back to grade I was hoping for, because I bought it like this. So I don't know why I said that. 5,000 for that one. Then we got this Avengers #1. Haven't had one of those in a while. Came back the grade I was hoping for. 41.99. Next we got up is this First Kingpin Spider-Man 50. Very nice red cover. I was about to say black, but came back the grade I was hoping for. 24.99. And then we got this Batman Infinity cover. Yes. This one did not work out in my favor. Oh well. I thought it'd come back higher than it was. 25.99. I thought this book, I could have like done more to it. And it was already graded. I cracked it out. And it literally just came back the same grade. So, whatever. Win some, lose some. It's still a good book. I got it at a decent deal to begin with. Oh, the case is nice and loose up here. Oh well. It's not like coming off, but it's like a little loose. Got first appearance Mr. Freeze, but he's actually called Mr. Zero back in the day. Batman 121 and a 4.0. I thought it'd be 4.5. I'm still considering resending that in. I'm like been on the fence about this for a while, thinking about this back and forth. I'm like, can I improve this? I think, you know, it just has a lot of staining on the back. The front covers, like the front cover is gorgeous, just simply gorgeous for a 4.0. But it's that back cover. I wonder if, you know, it's just all that staining. I don't know if there's much more we can, you know, if there's nothing you do about all the staining. It is what it is. 26.99. Plus another factor is, even if I did get that bump of a 4.5, it doesn't really change the price that much. Here we go. Got a first appearance of Silver Surfer and Galactus. Fantasy 448 and a 7.0. And came back where I was hoping for, 36.99. Here we got a Spider-Man 21. Isn't this the first Beetle? No, it's not the first Beetle. It's an early appearance of the Beetle. Thought this would be a 6.5. So I was way off in this one. 2.59. Also, to follow up, in case maybe you guys noticed or didn't notice. So I did a video about my comic shop and Comic Link possibly collusion. I just put out the stuff that was in front of me. I did a couple videos on it. No need to keep going on about it. But I took down the main video, the first video I did, because the people from my comic shop, I had a conversation with them, multiple conversations, and I'm not here to, like, after they explain to me what their side of the story was. I'm inclined to believe that. I don't think that's, how they report to the GPA. So basically, that when you do time payments, then when they report to the GPA is after it's already been paid for. But that was 6 months later. So at the time it sold for 114 when there was ones literally listed for sale and ones that had sold for like 55, 60,000. I'm like, why would someone pay literally double? You factor in taxes and all that kind of stuff. You're paying so much more, like double. And I was like, this doesn't make any sense. But then they explained out it. I'm like, okay, I believe you guys. Anyways, to follow up on that Fantasy 15, that's why I took down the video in case you guys are wondering. I'm not here to ruin anyone's business or do anything wrong. And after new information came to light, I was like, you know what? I believe you. I'm just going to go with time payments. And he asked if we could take down video. Of course, I'd do that. I would have done the same thing with Go Collect when I did their video on them. But instead, they went the opposite route and attacked me by getting YouTube to cancel my channel. So I was like, okay. I did follow up then and really laid into them. And they didn't even fix their problem. Go Collect didn't fix their problem. I mean, my comic shop didn't really have a problem. We talked back and forth how you should go to the GPA, and they're considering going how I would go with it. As soon as you get the first payment, if it's in May, you list it as sold in May. You don't wait until it's already paid, because I've literally had customers where it takes almost 2 years to pay for a book. Things happen. They pay for half and then they don't hear from them a while. I'm not going to steal someone's book. Oh, I haven't heard from you. The book's mine now. Just keep contacting. Oh, something came up. This happened. Whatever. Bad things happen to people. And, I'm not going to just hold their feet to the fire because they can't make timely payments. So it could take 2 years. That's not normal, but it could happen. 26. Thought I'd be an 8-0. Got 6.5. 329. So I'm not here to ruin anyone's business or, make anyone, hurt unnecessarily. So I took it down. But to give you an update of where that book ended, because it sold on Comic Link. It sold for 60, I'm trying to remember, it's like 62 or 63,000. And that guy paid 114,000. You lose taxes. Okay, so you're into it for about 120, 121 or something like that after taxes. They ships it to that person. That person instantly gives it to Comic Link. Comic Link takes 10% and sells for 63 or whatever it was. So you're looking at another 6,500 ish that's going to be taken away from Comic Link. So you're really only left with 56. And you paid 120 something after factoring taxes. Not to mention, Comic Link will then report this sale to, they give you whatever it is, some type of form. It goes on your income taxes. So now not only did you lose money on that, but now you have a sale. Now you could probably write off as a loss, but still you have to pay taxes on that 56,000 that you just made from Comic Link. Oh yeah. In like a week span, in a week, they lost all that money. That's like a lot of money. It's one thing when a comic goes down 50% and you're into it for $200 and you lost $100. It's another one when you lose by 50% and you lose like $60,000. That's another thing. That's just my God. I would not want to be that person. That's a lot. That's literally a down payment on a house. It's almost as much as, like half a house in some areas. It's like brand new car. Just poof, gone. Oh, man. And that's what I'm talking about. When my comic shop releases their data that way, it will literally count as 2 weeks ago, sold for 114. Same serial number because, GPA has the serial numbers. And then Comic Link. Half that price. So that looks bad on Comic Link. Like Comic Link is getting terrible prices, or my comic shop is getting amazing prices, or like everything's just completely out of whack and it doesn't make any sense at all because, this screws with all the data. My God. 50% gone. Spider-Man 101. Came back great. I was hoping for 359. First Morbius. Movie was not very good. They should have made that movie rated R. The blue blood. He's a vampire. Like, this is what I can't stand about like Hollywood. They're like, well, we want as many people in to see the movie as possible. So they, for some reason, think that's PG-13 when majority of people are older than 17 that live on this planet. But that's like the going audience age. I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, they've disproved this with the Joker and Deadpool. You make a good movie where people are going to have a good time. They're going to watch it. Who cares about the 13-year-olds that are going to miss out on it? Whoop-de-doo. Anyways, so they should have made Morbius rated R. They didn't, and it did terrible. Now, is that the only reason? Like, if they made the blood red and they made it rated R? No, it would probably have done the same, but it would have been, like, when I ever go to the theater, I don't see kids there. There's not a single kid that I saw in the theater when I saw Morbius. Not a single kid when I ever go to any of these Marvel movies that are PG-13. It's all literally people on dates or grown adults. And I go from wide ranges, literally from like 4 p.m., probably as late as like 10 p.m. Never really see kids. So, yeah. Plus, another interesting fact is the smallest age group that we've ever had, like, that have been born. Like, I don't know, I'm saying this wrong, but from 0 to 5, that the amount of people who have been born that are that age right now currently is the lowest amount from 0 to 5-year-olds we've ever had. So that generation, even though it's not a full generation, I think a generation's like 18 years or something like that, 20. So a quarter of that generation, the most recent births from 0 to 5 is literally the lowest number of 0 to 5-year-olds we've ever had out of any generation. So there's less kids out there. So that's why I'm saying make your movies rated R. That's my short answer. All right, Batman 423, McFarlane. K-Book Writers Hope for. It's first print, $3.89. It's a cool cover. The Owl. They were going to have the Owl as the villain in the Daredevil TV show, but they decided not to because, no offense, it's kind of a stupid name, even though Batman's cool. So they went Kingpin. That would be 6-0, got a 5-0, $3.99. This is where Ramita art on Spider-Man. Daredevil 16. I thought it'd be 4-0, got a 4-5, so yay. $2.89. Another thing interesting, this is kind of good news. So we sold remember that Journey Mystery 83 that was like propping up trying to sell in our auction? You know, we ended up selling it for $15,300 for a 5.0. Now the last, I think there was a 6 or a 5.5 that sold like a few months prior for like 19 or something, like, or like 20,000. And then there's like, I think the last 5.0 sold for 18 grand, but that was like 3 or 4 months ago or something like that. And so I was like, 15.5 or 15.3. The consignor was happy. And I thought that was a good price. Legit thought that was a good price, but maybe some people could see it and go, oh, before 5.5 sold for this should sell for that, And I think at one, like a 4.0 sold for like 13,000. So it's like, I was nervous that the consignor would thought it was low. That's why I was nervous, because I always want the sellers to get a good price. That's what I want. That's my hope, that everyone's happy. The buyer's happy and the seller's happy. It's very hard to do that. The only way we can think about doing that is giving 0% seller fees. So that means the seller, if it goes a little cheap, the seller's fine, no seller fees. The buyer's happy because they got a good deal. I thought it was a good deal regardless. So everyone was happy. And here's where the good news is. A 5.5 just sold on Comic Link 2 days ago, yesterday. Guess what the price they got for it? $14,000. A 5.5. A 5.5 sold for $14,000. Our 5.0, which is a lesser grade, sold for $15,300. So as long as I'm doing as good as Comic Link and Heritage and all that kind of stuff, obviously the market in general is going down. But in general, I am happy. So Kane Bracket Gray was hoping for, what am I looking at? Yeah, 26. $3.59. So that makes me happy. So I still think it's a good price. I don't think that person overpaid. It just went not very expensive on Comic Link. This book has taken a nosedive. Kane Bracket Gray was hoping for $159. This is a cool cover. I always liked it. Is it? It is an Alex Schomburg. I'm probably saying his name. Anyways, Exciting Comics 51. I always liked it when they drew them mostly him, drew them like really big sized. I thought that was interesting. $11.99. Super rare. Piece of tape. This one's cool. Not only is it Fantastic 448, but this person drew a cool beard and hair on the Watcher. Didn't want him all bald and naked. And I think he gave him sunglasses or something. Pretty cool. $7.99. I thought that one's interesting. I always found this interesting, but I don't think anyone ever really... I don't know if they planned this. I've always wanted to know if they planned this, if Marvel planned this. Okay, so we got Fantastic Four 112. The Thing and Hulk battling. You know, the first time they battled was issue 12. So this is exactly 100 issues later. So I'm wondering if it's like they were in the Thing or in the whatever studio art place, and they're like, okay, issue 112, we need something going on. It's like, how about the Thing in the battle, or the Thing in the Hulk battle? And they're like, yeah, we did have him battle in issue 12, so this would be issue 100, exactly 100 issues later. I don't know. It's either a coincidence or who knows. $2.69. Got this old Flash Comics 19. Nothing too special about it. It's missing some center wraps, but I thought I'd show it off. It's kind of cool. $2.49. Oops. And then, of course, you got Speedy doing heroin, shooting up. That would be 90, got 92, $4.49. And then, of course, last but not least, the comic that is going to go in the vault. What do I have over here? Oh. The comic that is going to go in the vault. So, sorry, I was looking at it. Yeah, so we were talking about it. I was like, there's not that many above this. This is a 9.6. A 9.6. Not that many that are above it. There's only like 3 or 4 that are in a 9.8, something like that. Very small amount. So the odds of us getting a 9.8 not going to happen. Also a 9.8 is like over $100,000. So we got a 9.6. There's a few of them, not too many. I think it's in the teens or something, maybe something like that, the teens. So maybe 20s or something like that. Not that many. We're probably never going to come across another one or get another one, because if we did get another one, it'd be very expensive. So we figured, why not just hold it back? Probably the nicest one we'll have is Hero of Hire, number 1, 9.6. And yes, that's going away in the vault. And that's why books become expensive, because you just need someone that wants something that has enough money. And when it's rare, it becomes expensive. That's why I always talk about modern books can never really be that expensive. This one person was saying, like, I remember I was talking about Ultimate Fallout 4 in last week or something, how it went down. And I said, yeah, I had an 80,000 print run. And people are like, 80,000, that's not that much. And I'm like, it depends what the 80,000 print run is. The problem with new books, okay, so Ultimate Fallout 4 was 2011, I think. CGC was around. Some people did not take care of their books as well then. But for the most part, all of them, probably of that 80,000, like 77,000 still exist, meaning only 3,000 probably got lost, stolen, thrown away, who knows where they are, in a dump somewhere. So that means like 75,000 probably still exist. And of that 75 or whatever thousand, I would say majority of them are a 9.4 or higher. Majority, meaning over 50%. If you grabbed every single one and graded every single one that exists. And a lot of people have them still raw, granted, but there's still a lot, probably on the census that are graded. There's just a lot of them out there that are still really, really high grade. And there's just a ton of 9.8s. Now, if you got a 9.9, Yeah, then you got, I don't even know if there's a 9.9 graded, might be one, but then you got something that's super, super rare. It's a one of one, but, or a 10.0. Yeah, but if you just have, and new books, like brand new books that just come off the lot, it doesn't matter if it has a 30,000 print run. I've literally seen comic book shop owners, they get in a distribution box, they just grab a stack, send that to CGC. And so all of them are still going to be around. So even has a print run of 80,000 today, probably all 80,000 exist. Most of them are all going to be 9.8s and a few 9.6s, barely any 9.4s, barely any 9.2s, and 9.0s probably non-existent and below that. So that's the problem is this, it's not like an old comic book like this. This might have had a print run of like, I don't know. I really don't know, but I'm going to guess 100,000, 150, 200,000. It could have had that high of a print run. I know comic books like back in the day, like old Golden Age comics, they would have print runs of in the millions. Yes, in the millions. So like Captain Marvel was really, they had printed in the millions. Like Crime Doesn't Pay was really popular. Those are printed in the millions and stuff like that. But the thing is, most of those, so if it had like, if an action comic had a printing of 500,000, most of those, and when I mean most, I mean like 90% of those probably were destroyed throughout the years, thrown away, burned, trashed, whatever happened. You know, we went through wars, you know, people recycled the paper, people recycled the staples, all sorts of stuff for the wars, things like that. So you're left with a fraction of what really existed. And the fraction that is left, most of them are in crappy shape, all torn up, missing pages, coupons cut out, drawings on them, spine splits. You know, none of them are in high grade. So when you come across a book that is in high grade, like even this, even if this had a print run of a couple 100,000, there's only a handful in a 9.8, and you're not going to randomly go out and find another 9.8. If you do find someone that has this raw, most likely it's probably in a 4 to a 6, a 4.0 to a 6.0. It's not like an Ultimate Fallout 4. If you find someone that has a raw copy, it's probably a 9.4 plus. So you're never going to find like another 9.8. 9.6s you probably will never find. Like you could probably go another 10 years and there might be maybe one more 9.8 on the census. Maybe, which I highly doubt. And maybe one more 9.6. You could send in probably thousands to be graded of this, and you won't probably get another 9.6 or a 9.8 again. It'll just be super, super, super rare to get another one like that. But with an Ultimate Fallout 4 or a new modern book, it's like, yeah, they're going to be 9.8s constantly coming in. And that's the difference. That's what makes things more expensive is, yeah, the print run is low. Oh my God, print run, but they're all top tier grades. So it really defeats the purpose of a print run. I was talking to the guy from Golden Auctions today, and he came up with an interesting point. They mostly deal in cards, but they're dealing more in comics. And he was talking about, he was like, the reason why, he's like, brand new cards are being printed today that are worth like $1 million. Because the way the card industry works is they print rarity. So they'll print a card. I know they do this. They'll take a basketball player. I couldn't even tell you a name of a current basketball player. They'll take a basketball player who's, you know, maybe it's a rookie, really hot or something like that, and they cut up their jersey and then they put it on the card, and they'll make like 5 or 10 of them. And then maybe of those 10, you get one that has a little piece of the number of his jersey or the logo or something like that. You could just get literally just like the side where there's nothing going on. It's just jersey material. But maybe you get a logo or something on there. And then all of a sudden that spikes. And that becomes like a one of one. And then it just becomes super expensive. He was telling me that LeBron James rookie cards, probably like PSA 10 or whatever the hell it is, all that kind of, in like the super rare version, sell for like over $1 million regularly. And I'm like, good Lord. And he came out in like 2001. I mean, what comic is selling for over $1 million from 2001? Nothing. Like there's only a handful of comics that even sell for $1 million, period, let alone one from 2001. So he was saying, he had an interesting thing. He's like, what comics should do is the card thing where they give you a pack. Maybe it has like 5 comics in it, and they all have variants of whatever. You get cover A, right? And then you buy a pack and it has variants in it. And most of the variants probably aren't going to be worth much, but they'll have maybe 10 variants or a particular variant. They only printed 10 of it. and you get that and it becomes super expensive. But then I told him, I was like, the downside, comics are still in like this thing where they think comics are for reading, which is true. And he's like, well, that's what cover A is for. And I'm like, that's true. Because the variants, you know, they just print too many. And even when it's barely any at all, it's like it's usually of a book no one wants or cares about. So sorry for my rant. I ranted way too long. I have to take my dogs out. Have a good day.